Welcome to Beauty Beyond Skin, where we dive into the world of beauty secrets, skincare innovations, lifestyle, and aesthetic treatment. I am your host, Abby Bakari, CEO and founder of Flawless Aesthetic Center. Each episode would explore latest trends, share expert insights, and bring you inspiring stories from industry leaders and influencers. Whether you're a beauty enthusiast or looking to elevate your self care routine, this podcast is your go to source for everything beauty and aesthetics. Hi, guys. Welcome to today's episode on the world of beauty and aesthetics. I am your host, the CEO and founder of Flawless Aesthetic Center. My name is Abby Bakari. And today I am going to be sitting with one of my very best aesthetic nurses, Nurse Fatima. She's well versed in this field, has a strong passion for sexual health and wellness. And so we're going to be having her today talk to us all about sexual health and wellness. So I'm going to be introducing my guest, Fatima. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you, Miss Abby. I'm really thrilled to be here today to talk about this topic because for a long time I've got to realize that sexual health and wellness is a topic that most people really need to know about, but then the education is just a moot point because people are ashamed to talk about it.
Yes.
So I'm really thrilled to be here and have you talk about this topic. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Fatima. So again, we have a lot of misconception and a lot of societal, I call it boundaries or just things that really prevent us from really talking about the sexual health and awareness. But we get to see this every day, and we get to see how this really affects the lives of people. But the good thing about this is that we also get to treat patients.
Indeed.
And we get to, transform them and actually really pull out our confidence in them. So today we're going to be speaking about the aging, sexual wellness, and just talking about how you can thrive at every stage in life when it comes to this topic. So I have a few questions for you today, Fatima, and
Sure.
I'll be very delighted. I'm sure my viewers will be delighted as well to kind of hear from you, since you get to see this every day. You get to experience this firsthand.
I do.
You work directly with patients that come to this that are really candidates for the sexual health and wellness, and just you get to see different kinds of scenarios. So my question today would be, so can you explain to us really what does the sexual health and wellness, what does it really mean?
Okay, I like how you said we're mainly about educating people on how they can thrive at
Yes.
every stage of their lives,
Yes.
right? So the sexual health and awareness is mainly about developing respectful attitudes towards sexuality and sexual relationships, and it encompasses both the physical, emotional, mental, and social well-being. So, sexual wellness is a very vital part of our lives, both as men and as women. And having to get to this point of sexual wellness is really a great deal for everyone.
I believe so. I believe so. Because there are a lot of misconceptions
Indeed.
about the sexual health and
There are.
wellness. This part of the world, especially where we're from, Nigeria,
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like a forbidden topic, really, right?
Yeah.
So most times when we see patients, it takes a lot for you to really pull that out of them, and then you get to really
Indeed.
discover a lot of things.
Indeed.
So could you just talk about the misconceptions we really have about this?
Okay, first, I think one of the greatest misconception is that people think that aging means you have to have a decline in sexual relationships and intimacy, right? But that is absolutely a big no.
I always believed that myself as a child. I was like, oh,
No, it
or
is a
growing
no.
about it.
And like you said, we have to thrive at every stage of our development, whether we're young, or vibrant, or we're aging and then slow. Because sexual wellness encompasses every stage of our lives. And here in Nigeria, another misconception is that talking about the sexual wellness is a shameful thing, but it is not, because having this knowledge, arming yourself with this knowledge of what to do and what not to do when it comes to sexual wellness is a really go-to when it comes to having that quality of life and improving your quality of life. Yes. So those are two of the most misconceptions that we have here in Nigeria, that talking about sexual wellness is not a topic that should be spoken about in public.
In public, right.
And then that aging, as we age, your sexual wellness or whatever, anything sexuality has to decline with age, but it is not like that.
So we see a lot of people and a lot of women, I would say, that I'm sure you've, because I've met a few of them when I've
I
had
have.
consultations, and you
have.
handle a lot of consultations as well. And a lot of women just feel like as they age, their sexual lives are done, right? But the men don't feel that though, which is funny. I don't see men complain about that. They feel they want to go for younger girls.
Sure.
Or they feel the women, the older they get, the less sexual active they are. So I have it really backwards here sometimes, and I get confused myself as to why men would think that way. And women feel like, oh, I'm getting older, so everything is just dead. And so let's talk about that a little bit more.
Okay.
Because that's really very funny.
It is to an extent. But first, I think that for women go through a lot. We know that, right? And then this a lot that women go through, say childbearing, for example. There are some women that the experiences that they've garnered from being pregnant, from having a child, it messes with their minds. And then some of them just want to stay away from sex. Some of them get to the point where even the thought, the concept of sex in the first place, it irritates them. They don't want to hear about it. It's kind of like a mental thing.
Yes. Are you sure it's a mental thing, or because to some extent I agree with you.
Yes, to some extent.
But a lot of women are frustrated.
Exactly, mental.
Because yes, it's mental, I agree. But they are frustrated because sometimes the men are not patient enough to really understand their bodies. Or they feel the older, so it's a mental thing that they haven't really. That's why we educate patients on know your body, right? So even if you're dealing with stress, but we see that sometimes they're actually just frustrated.
Sure.
And they now start thinking, oh, because I'm getting older, so I cannot perform as much, right? Or I cannot do this as much.
Yes.
So,
That's
just trying to really figure out how do we really help these women.
Okay, for
and
what
men
it's
too,
worth,
and men too, not just women.
there are a lot of men, but then the women they take the win on that one because for women, I think in our part of the world, it's only in this region that you see women that once they're married, they have a husband, they feel or they start giving birth, they feel like that's the end of
My
it.
life is over.
They don't have to take care of themselves. They don't have to do anything else. And then when the men in this instance that say betraying the women because men are visual beings, let me use that, beings, right? They mostly thrive on the visuals,
right?
Yeah, so for a woman, you don't just have to look good for your man to see you, right? Looking good also entails feeling good.
You have
It
to
depends on how you feel about yourself, which is what we do here. Here in Flores Aesthetic Center, our main goal is helping people to achieve the confidence they need to look and feel
their best.
Yep. So it's not just about looking good, it's all about feeling good as well, which brings me to the sexual wellness part. So for some women, when they go through all these different stages of life and then they realize that, oh, I went through all of this pain, all of this torture, and the man was just there, it just dampens their hormones, it dampens their mindset about all of these things. And the truth is, this, because of our culture and the community we're in, this sexual wellness, the fact that we don't talk about it, is really destroying homes.
It is.
Yes. And so many women that have problems regarding their sexual life, their sexual wellness, because they don't hear people talk about it, they don't know that there are solutions to these things. And it ends up messing with their minds.
It does. It does.
Yeah, so that's one of the reasons why women are like that.
Thank you. Thank you for that. And just to add to what you've said, it messes with their minds. But one thing I also see is that they don't even communicate it with their spouses.
Exactly.
Because they're not allowed to talk about it. Right? So, they don't set boundaries. They don't discuss it with their spouses. They don't talk about their sexual health. They don't even think it's even an issue. They just feel, oh, I already have this problem. I'm just going to sit down here and just die with this problem. And my life is over. But we educate women that no, actually, at every stage in your life, you can actually enjoy sex. You can enjoy your partners. You can still be intimate. So I know some of the problems are psychological, but we all know that as we age, our bodies start to change, right?
Yeah.
So we do have factors like childbirth for sure. We also have aging factors. We also have some psychological factors. So there are factors why there's a huge decline in the sexual health and wellness area and field. So I know here at Flawless you treat a lot of patients when it comes to that. So let's talk about the treatments we have that patients, women really. No, so let's talk about women first, right? And then we talk about the men because it's also a problem for men as well. So for the women, can you just talk about the treatments we have here at Flawless that helps?
Well, we have various treatments, but one or two of my favorite is the Thermiva and the O-Shot. For what it's worth, I used to think that the whole sexuality thing had to do with education. It depended on the level of education that a woman had that would determine if they'll seek help when they had this problem. So then I got to realize it's not even the education at all. I mean, over time, I've met a lot of women. Some of them know about these procedures, but they are ashamed to go for them.
Let's talk about it. Yeah.
Yes, because some of them feel that these procedures are not safe, it can cause harm to them. So they choose to go the herbal route, right? Yeah, they choose to go the herbal route. But then again, the Themiva and the O-Shot are scientifically backed treatments.
Yes, yeah.
And these treatments are completely safe with no pain, no downtime. I mean, they are amazing considering the reviews that we've gotten from clients. Yes. And the treatments, the Tamiva.
This is the Tamiva, the one.
This is the Tamiva probe. Yes.
Yes. So this is
the one.
It's very tiny. It's little.
Mm-hmm.
But what does this do? How does this work?
So this wand, magic wand.
I call it the magic wand.
Yeah, I do.
My favorite stick.
This magic wand uses radio frequency to help to gently radiate heat to a woman's vagina. Now, the concept is that the radio frequency helps to induce collagen production.
You're smiling a lot.
I am smiling
because she gets because we see the benefits we give our patients.
Yes.
So yeah.
And the best part of all of this is when I see women that have undergone these treatments and then they're happy being back. They're happy with the results. I mean, it's just fulfillment on another level.
It is.
Yes.
I think that's what really makes our work worthwhile.
It is.
Just giving them that confidence they create. Yeah.
Yes. So this one releases the radio frequency from here, gently hits the vaginal area. It's like having a warm massage.
Exactly.
Only
I have done it already. So
yes.
I'm a patient of this.
And it is not painful.
Yeah.
And it's not a long procedure. It's a very short procedure, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and we're done with the treatment. It's an in-house procedure, so you don't have to travel. You will not be put to sleep. It is very mild, and it is mildly invasive. Yes, we don't cut. There is no blood, whatever, nothing. And then after this procedure, you get to go back home and do whatever you want.
So is there any downtime?
Well, for this procedure, there is no downtime. There is no downtime.
And let's talk about the benefits.
Well, for starters, the benefits, number one, you get a tighter and firmer vagina.
Yes.
Which is one of the things that women worry about, especially women who have had children.
Yes.
Yes. But it's not only childbirth that makes the vagina walls lax, right? Aging also.
Aging is a big factor.
Yes, aging is a big factor. But with this treatment, it gets to tighten and firm up the vaginal wall. But that's not all. Another amazing thing that this treatment does is it helps to lubricate the vagina.
Yes.
Yes, it helps. It increases lubrication. It ensures that you get wet faster and longer. Yeah. So people have this condition where they say that their vagina area feels like sandpaper. Because when they move, they kind of feel it. Sometimes it's due to atrophy, right? Swelling of the vaginal wall.
Yes.
But with this treatment, it helps to take care of that.
That's why they always have the painful intercourse. That's why they don't even want to have intercourse.
Exactly.
It's painful.
Yes. And it's dry as well. So that does not help.
Yeah.
And it also helps to increase libido. So it's not just the men who can last longer, but the women can do it now.
Oh, that's good.
Thanks
Great.
to this.
Thanks to this. This is the magic wand.
It is the magic one. And another kicker, which is a great one too, is that the treatment helps to improve stress incontinence.
Yes.
Stress incontinence being see, sometimes you feel like when you sneeze, you have these tiny drops of urine. This treatment helps with that. Because one of the reasons that happens is that you have like a leaky bladder syndrome. The bladder is leaking. But with this, when it helps to tighten and firm up the vagina, it helps to push the bladder out, which helps to firm it up. And then that leaky bladder syndrome, it reduces by a whole lot.
Because you see a lot of women talking about the fact that when they laugh, they
Yes.
leak urine, they sneeze, or they are jogging. So it's very embarrassing.
And people think it's only for older women, but it's not.
No, even some younger girls who have babies early, they experience that as well.
Yes.
Yeah,
Trauma does that a lot.
So it's a lot of factors that contribute to that. But I'm glad, we get to get that fixed and addressed.
But then, although there is this treatment, but it is absolutely important that you have your consultation done by a professional. You have the treatment handled by a professional, because it's not just about doing the treatment, but it's about doing it right.
Doing it right,
which is what we do here. And well, that is why we always ensure that professionals do our treatments.
I see why you're always smiling, because you get to see, how this really changes and transforms the life of our patients.
Yeah, the impact is really great.
It's huge. It's huge. Now let's go to the men. So for men who are experiencing erectile dysfunctions, who premature ejaculations, who feel like they don't even have the desire at all to even have sex. We have a lot of patients like that, and so they keep either putting up fights with their wives, or you hear crazy stories here. Trust me, you should come listen to all the stories we hear. We hear here it's a lot. So for men, what treatments do we offer men? And I actually have one great review I would like to share with you guys.
Okay. Well, for men, we have the P-shot. You know how they say exercise is nature's Viagra? Well, I beg to differ, because the P-shot is also another sort of Viagra. It is natural, because the P-shot uses the PRP, which is platelet-rich plasma, gotten directly from the blood of the individual who's going to be having the treatment. So there are no external factors that are involved in this treatment. We get a sample of your blood, we spin it in a centrifuge, we extract the platelet-rich plasma from this blood, and then it is injected back into the penis. And this treatment, the results is that one of the major results is that it increases libido.
It does.
It helps with erectile dysfunction. And erectile dysfunction is a broad term. It is not just one thing.
We can have a whole
it is a broad term.
Topic about
yes.
A whole session.
Indeed. And it also helps with Peyronie's disease, where men feel like when they get an ejaculation, their penis is curved. This treatment also
some actually think it's normal to have curved penis.
Yeah, it's not that they think it's normal. It's mostly that they don't know that there is something that we can do to help. There is something that actually works, because most people are used to taking herbs and a lot of other treatments, but most of these treatments don't work. Say for women, for instance, most women do kayamata.
Yes.
A traditional aphrodisiac. But I say no to that, because Tomiva and then the O-shot, which is the female version of the P-shot, also helps. It's like a natural aphrodisiac. Yes, it increases your libido. It increases lubrication.
And it's long-term.
Yes, it is long-term. As long as you complete your sessions,
your treatment,
it is long-term. Which is why I say it is really, really a great idea for this, that we are having this. But as much as we're educating people out there, we still want to let them know that it is not just about having this treatment done. You need to ensure that these treatments are done by professionals who are really vast in the field.
Exactly.
Because there's so many out there, and I've had the pleasure of consulting with clients that have had these procedures done elsewhere, and then they come in here with so many different complaints and stories that would blow your mind. Really.
Well, I'm glad we get to educate our patients on the importance of, number one, finding the right provider, but also talking about the sexual health and wellness, that there is a solution to problems out there that you think there's no solution to. All right, so I'm going to read out one review from one of our patients, and he's a guy, and so I really love this review because number one, it takes a lot to get
Indeed.
a guy to open up. So this is what he said. He said, "My Google search took me to Flawless Skin by Abby back in June. Right now we're known as Flawless Aesthetic Center, but
Yeah.
it's still, the same
Flawless
company.
Skin Barber, yeah.
And I saw all the content about P-Shot. I read all the content and information for about a week, and I was like, wow, something in this really exists in Nigeria. You mean I don't have to travel out of the country to do this for men?" And so basically, this to sum it up, I really want to just go back, just to his what he gained from it. Um, so he said he wasn't really sure at first what to expect, but then he did find his way into the clinic, and he did his P-Shot for, instead of doing the 3 month session, he actually had it extended to 6 months because he was really happy with the benefit. So he said here, I did my P-Shot from June till December. Gentlemen, by the second month, I saw changes in the grid size as well as the length.
Wow.
My male organ grew and increased my performance and stamina. After 6 months, I knew I had taken the best decision as the man to go to this safe and effective procedure done at Flawless. What I can tell you is Flawless Skin by Abby is a very reputable organization. They have a fantastic customer service and licensed professional. And he put it here. This is not a paid advert.
Oh, okay.
I really decided to take the time to commend them and tell all the men out there at home who is dealing with this issue in shame, they need to be able to give themselves a break and give themselves the best years ahead. So
Wonderful.
this came from a guy, and this was somebody he came in here very skeptical, But what makes our job worthwhile and why we wake up every morning to do what we do is for things like this.
Of course. Of course.
So I'm happy that today we're really talking about this. We're going to have many more episodes about the sexual health and wellness because it's something that a lot of
It's really a
people
broad topic.
ask. It's very
Yes,
broad, and
it
we
is.
cannot possibly cover everything in one episode. So today's episode is just basically just an introductory as to what this is and how we can thrive at every age and get out of our minds the fact that, oh, because I'm getting older, my sex life is going to decline.
Yeah.
So thank you, Fatima, for joining us on today's podcast. And before we conclude, are there any final thoughts that you want to, or messages you want to pass across to consumers out there about the sexual health and wellness?
Yes, definitely there is. So my advice is that for all those going through this situation, I'm gonna call it a situation, I want them to know that you're not alone. And that, how they say, knowing a problem or knowing you have a problem is the first step to finding a solution,
Correct.
right? So here at Flawless Aesthetic Center, our clients, we go with them through this journey, whatever treatments they're doing, whether it's the sexual wellness, whether it's the bodily treatment, because we have body treatments as well. We have facial treatments, basically anti-aging, where you go to people, and I want them to know that we go with them through this process. And for all those that are thinking if they should do this or if they should not, I want you to know that first, you need to make a decision. Whatever you're doing, whether it's in the form of treatments, it's in the form of having exercises or eating right, you need to know that you're doing this for yourself. Just tell yourself, I'm doing this for me. And then that will go a long way into making you do this, propel you to go further with this.
All right. Thank you, Fatima, again for joining us today
Thank you.
on our episode on sexual health and wellness and thriving at every stage in life. And so that was a very big topic. And we're going to talk more about that and shoot more episodes about that.
Yeah.
And to my listeners out there, thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, be flawless and fearless. Thank you for joining us on today's episode of Beauty Beyond Skin. I hope you found our conversation insightful and inspiring. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review if you enjoyed the show. Stay connected with us on social media for beauty tips, expert advice, and exclusive content. Until next time, remember, stay flawless and fearless.